morning, everyone. This is Marisa Anglade and
Ralph Anglade.
And right now we are driving to North Georgia. We are going to be looking at several houses in regards to country living. So we've been married for about almost 5 years, and I think like the second year of our marriage, if not the first, we talked about living a simple life and someday moving into the country. And the last 2 years we've been planning and saving. We made some sacrifices so that we can save money, pay off most of our debts. We just have one now, which is our school loan. And everything that we've accomplished as a goal has been with prayer. I mean, literally, we prayed to God to be debt free. We prayed to pay off our cars within a year or so, within 2 years. And everything that was made possible was through prayer. And I mean straight up, like we listed everything we wanted God to do for us. We got the scriptures to back it up, and we brought those scriptures before God in regards to like we would be a lender and not a borrower. Scriptures just like that. It talked about money and everything that we've been praying for. And so now, after we kind of paid a lot of stuff, we did nothing but just save. And my husband also took a job transfer that we prayed about, which now when we move, several of the houses that we've seen will be like 30 minutes from his job, which is nothing but the grace of God. So we thank God for that. And so right now we're driving. We woke up really early because we're like several hours away from where we're trying to move, a couple of hours. And we're heading there to meet with the realtor to look at 5 to 6 houses. One house we have in particular that we like. I call it a humbling home because it is not the most extravagant home and it's not the ugliest home. But if I was in myself only, it probably wouldn't have been a house I picked per se. Because it's almost like you want the city house to be in this country, the city house that you see to be in the country, and that's just a straight up truth. But the house have all the characteristics that we want and that we prayed for, that we listed. So it has mostly all the characteristics when I went back to the list. And we brought, again, everything we wanted in the house. We found the scriptures to back it up. We brought it before God, and we wanted a well or a creek. One house that we're leaning more towards, they have the creek. I wanted fruit trees to already be on the property. It has that. I wanted a garden already started because I'm thinking less work for me, but I know it's going to be work anyway. And that house has a garden as well as a metal roof and shelters. What is it called? Shelter house?
Yeah, shelter.
Something like that. Storm shelter. And a workshop as well, and it's acre. We're initially thinking that we wanted to go with 5 acres. Okay, we were thinking, okay, minimum 5 acres. That was on the list, so we didn't get that. This house only has an acre, but we thank God that we called people that we knew that moved to the country, and we got some insight from them, which was a blessing. And before we really started hunting, this particular couple told us, don't focus on just getting 5 acres. Be okay with getting 1 acre because we don't want you to make the same mistakes that we made, that we had this tight list that if the house did not fit everything on the list, we passed them by. And they say they lost a lot of homes that they could have got for reasonable prices because they didn't have everything on the list. He said an acre is good enough for you to do what you're trying to do. And if you decide you want something bigger, you can move later on. He said, but just don't focus on getting 5 acres. Be okay with getting 1 acre. And he was right. When we were searching, most of the houses did not have the amount of acreage that we initially was looking for. They were scarce. And if they did have a lot of acres, the house was terrible, or it was not in an area that we want to move in, or it was above what we wanted to pay, because we want to keep our costs low so that we can continue on the journey of being debt free and not having to be a slave to having to make a certain amount of income and not rely on that income as well and be self-sufficient. And so their wisdom and sharing what they experienced with us helped us to be okay with not having 5 acres or more. So a couple of properties do have more than an acre, like the most is like almost 3 acres.